Hello everyone. In this video we will learn about gas laws from chapter States of Matter, class 11 chemistry, presented by Vijit, PGT Chemistry, KB Dograta Institute. Learning outcomes of this video. In this video we will learn about various gas laws, experimental verification of these gas laws, ideal gas equation and its various forms, different values of universal gas constant, that is R. So let's start with the first gas law, and that is given by Boyle. This law is Boyle's law. So what is this Boyle's law? The volume of a given mass of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure at constant temperature. That means if we constant the temperature, so let's start with the first gas law, and that is given by Boyle. This law is Boyle's law. So what is this Boyle's law? The volume of a given mass of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure at constant temperature. That means if we constant the temperature of a gas, its pressure is inverse to its volume. That means if we will increase the pressure, volume will decrease. If we will decrease the pressure, volume will increase. They have inverse relation to each other. The equation is V is inversely proportional to P, or we can say P into V is constant. That means the product of pressure and volume is constant, and from this equation we can say if one will increase, another will decrease as the product is constant, where K is a constant and its value depends on mass, temperature and nature of gas. That means for different gases the value of K is different. For a gas, the value of K may be different at different temperatures. So if suppose a gas has two different conditions at a constant temperature, let's the first condition is having pressure P1 and volume V1, and we are changing the pressure or the volume, another factor will also change. Let's take the experimental verification of Boyle's law. This is an example with its verification. See, in the left hand side we have a container in which a piston is applied. The volume is given as 8 unit. From the piston we are applying pressure, and that is 1 unit. See, the product P into V is 1 into 8, that is 8. If suppose pressure is increased by the piston, the pressure is now 2 units. See the volume value, it is only 4 units now, and the product P into V is 2 into 4 is equal to again 8 units. So if pressure is doubled, volume will become half. If the volume is doubled, pressure will become half. Okay, so this is the experimental verification of Boyle's law. Now what are isotherms? Iso means constant, therm means temperature. So these isotherms, these are the graphs of volume versus pressure, or P into V versus pressure, or P versus 1 upon V. That means we have three different graphs, and all these are termed as isotherm. Why? Because iso means constant and therm means temperature. So these are the graphs. In the first you can see in the y-axis we have pressure, in the x-axis we have 1 upon V, and we know from the previous page P is inversely proportional to V, or we can say P is directly proportional to 1 upon V. So here you can see the lines which are representing P is directly proportional to 1 upon V in the first graph. These are the values, these are the lines at three different temperatures, T1, T2, T3. Similarly, in the second graph you can see P and V on the y and x axis. The graphs are in the form of curves. T1, T2, T3 temperatures are given. Here the value is inversely proportional. We know P is inversely proportional to V. So the graphs are in the downward direction. In the third graph, we can see the graph is between PV and P. As we know, the PV product is constant. So we have a straight line, or we can say the parallel line, as parallel to the x-axis for value PV, because PV is constant value. If we are changing the value of P, we will also change, and that will manage the product as constant. Okay, so these are the graphs of isotherms. Now the second law is Charles' law, and in this law we have constant pressure. Just like in Boyle's law we have constant temperature, here we have constant pressure. And the statement of this law is the volume of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature at constant pressure. That means if we are increasing the volume, temperature will also increase, or we are increasing the temperature, volume will also increase, or with the decrease of temperature, volume will also decrease. So the relation is V is directly proportional to T at constant pressure, or V over T is equal to constant. So if there are two different conditions, V1 T1 and V2 T2, so the V1 over T1 value will be constant, and the V2 over T2 value will also be constant. So finally the relation will be V1 over T1 is equal to V2 over T2. Again here we have a constant, that may be K, and that constant value depends on the nature of gas and pressure. See, the constant K depends on the nature of gas and the constant value of that law. Just like in Boyle's law, the constant K depends on the temperature, and here the constant K depends on the pressure. Now this is the experimental verification and the example of Charles' law. See, in the left hand side we have a gas in the container. The gas has lower volume. We are applying the temperature. In the right hand side the volume is larger as compared to the left hand side container, and that higher volume of the gas is because of the higher temperature that we are applying from the bottom. You can see the temperature range from the thermometers given in the left and right hand side. So if we are increasing the temperature, the gas molecules will punch on the piston and they will increase the volume. Now the main definition of Charles' law. This definition is the volume of the given mass of a gas increases or decreases by 1 by 273 of its volume for each degree rise or fall of temperature respectively at constant pressure. What is the meaning of this definition? If we have constant pressure and we are increasing the temperature by 1 degree Celsius, or we are decreasing the temperature by 1 degree Celsius, that will increase or decrease the volume by 1 by 273rd value. For example, if the volume at 0 degree Celsius is V0, then at 1 degree Celsius the volume will be V0 plus V0 by 273. At minus 1 degree Celsius the volume will be V0 minus V0 by 273. Similarly, at 2 degrees Celsius the volume will be V0 plus 2 into V0 by 273. At 10 degrees Celsius the volume will be V0 plus 10 into V0 by 273, and at T degrees Celsius finally the value will be Vt is equal to V0 by 1 plus 2 T upon 273. This is the volume at T degrees Celsius. Now what are isobars? Similar to isotherms, we have isobars graph here. Iso means again constant and bar represents pressure here. So this is the graph of volume versus temperature at constant pressure. See, the graph is between volume and temperature at y-axis and x-axis. At different pressures we have straight lines which represents the directly proportional relation of volume and temperature. Now the next law is Gay-Lussac's law, and this law is at constant volume, just like constant temperature in Boyle's law, constant pressure in Charles' law. We have constant volume here, and the statement is the pressure of a given mass of a gas is directly proportional to the temperature at constant volume. So if we are increasing the temperature, that will also increase the pressure of a gas. We are increasing the temperature, that will increase the pressure of a gas. That means these two are directly proportional to each other. P is directly proportional to T, or P over T is equal to constant, or P1 over T1 is equal to P2 over T2, similar to the previous equations. And here again constant, that may be K, depends on the nature of gas and the volume of the gas. Now see the images. This is the experimental verification. In the both sides we have constant volume. We are not applying pistons which are movable, we are applying pistons which are non-movable here. In the left hand side we have pressure P1. In the right hand side we are applying heat from the bottom, and you can see there is a movement, or we can say higher movement of the particles in the right hand side just because of the higher temperature. So if we are increasing the temperature, that will increase the kinetic energy of the molecules, and just because of higher kinetic energy of the molecules, these molecules will punch with greater number and with greater force to the walls of the container. Let's take another example. If you have a balloon and you are putting this balloon above the candle flame, and you may see the balloon will burst. Why? Because if we are applying temperature, we are giving heat to the balloon, that will increase the movement of the particles, gas particles which are inside the balloon, and that will increase the pressure. Finally the balloon will burst when it will not handle the pressure of the gas particles present inside it. Now we have isocores. Just like isotherms and isobars, we have isocores. Here iso means again same, and core represent the volume. A graph of pressure versus T at constant volume, this is called isocore. Now you can see the graph which is similar to isotherm, but we have pressure in the left hand side and we have temperature in the x-axis, and at constant volume they have straight lines that represents the directly proportional relation of pressure and temperature. Now the next law is Avogadro's law. The statement is that equal volume of all gases under the same conditions of temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules. That means if we are applying same temperature and pressure to the gases having same volume, they will also have same number of molecules or particles or moles. So suppose we have three different containers. In the first container we have hydrogen gas, in the second container we have oxygen gas, in the third container we have nitrogen gas. All the containers are of same volume, and if we will apply same value of temperature and pressure, then the particles or the molecules present inside each container will also be same. So mathematically V is proportional to N. That means volume is directly proportional to the number of moles if the temperature and pressure values are constant, or V over N is equal to K. And we have a term molar gas volume here, and that is the volume of 1 mole of a gas, that is 22.4 liter at NTP 0 degree Celsius or and 1 atm pressure, that is known as molar gas volume. That means for any gas at this temperature 0 degree Celsius and at 1 atmospheric pressure, the volume will remain constant, that is 22.4 liter for its 1 mole particles. Now the ideal gas equation, which is the combination of all gas laws which we have learned till now. This ideal gas equation is created from all the gas laws. See the first equation, it is from the Boyle's law. V is proportional to 1 over P, where T and N are constant. V is proportional to T, where P and N are constant. This is from Charles' law. V is proportional to N, where P and T are constant. This is from Avogadro's law. And by combining all these laws, all these three laws, we will get an equation, that is V is proportional to N T over P, or we can say PV is proportional to NT. And by applying a constant, that is R here, finally the equation will be PV is equal to nRT. This is one of the most important equation in the chemistry. PV is equal to nRT. Here P is pressure, V is volume, N number of moles of gas, R is called universal gas constant, and T is the temperature. You can find the unit of the R by applying the units of P, V, N and T in the equation. And we have some units and values of R here. The value of R may be 8.314 joule, Kelvin inverse, mole inverse. The value of R may be 0.0821 liter atmosphere per Kelvin per mole, or the value of R is 0.083 liter bar Kelvin inverse mole inverse. You can use any one of the values, depends on the numerical. Now there are some other forms of ideal gas equation. See, we have PV is equal to nRT. If a gas undergoes changes in its temperature, pressure and volume, that means P1, V1 and T1, and finally the pressure, temperature and volume are P2, V2 and T2. So the value will be P1 V1 over T1 is equal to N into R from the ideal gas equation. P2 V2 over T2 is equal to N into R from again the ideal gas equation. So finally the value will be P1 V1 over T1 is equal to P2 V2 over T2. Now here the value of N is also constant. Why? Because we are increasing or decreasing the values of pressure, volume and temperature. That remains where N remains constant. Why? Because it's not a chemical reaction where the number of moles will also change. So the molecules or the number of moles of gas that remain same. So the final equation is P1 V1 over T1. Another form of ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT, as we know. P is equal to nRT over V, or P is equal to WRT over MV, where W is the mass and capital M is the molar mass of the gas. And we know W over V is the density. So the equation can be written as P is equal to dRT over M, or density is equal to P m over RT, where P is the pressure, m is the molar mass, R is the universal gas constant, and T is the temperature.